I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, we met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched up a file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers, for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school, because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told them we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time, when I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested, because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, "If you don't get off these steps, Jim Clark," said, "we're going to arrest you." I said to myself, exactly what I want you to do. And so at about 45 seconds before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're glad to be back. Welcome to the Lineage Podcast. MJ Reese, Alan Reese here. We took a week off, had some things going on, but we are back. Yes, we're back in action. We appreciate y'all joining us. Appreciate y'all taking y'all time out of y'all day, out y'all busy day. On Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. Let's go ahead and turn up for the weekend. We got a good show today. If you don't know us, we are the grandsons of the late, great Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese. He is the man that officially signed the invitation to invite Dr. Martin Luther King to Selma, Alabama. And a host of other things that he led in Selma, Alabama with the help. Let me go ahead and put some respect in the name of the Dallas County Voters League, the Courageous Eight, who are the board members of the Dallas County Voters League, and all the people, the 2,000 plus members that was in the Dallas County Voters League. We are sitting here today because of your works and efforts. Today's show, we have a great show today. We're going to talk about some current things and tie it all into like we like to do with the past, and kind of tie it all in and intertwine it with the civil rights movement. Like I said, we appreciate y'all joining us. This is a Lineage Podcast. Please comment. Please join the YouTube channel, the Lineage Podcast. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. We would really appreciate it. We thank everybody that's been subscribing and tuned in with us. Even the people that's, hey man, y'all should talk about this, talk about that. Trust me, we really appreciate that. The feedback, let us know that y'all paying attention to us. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Today's topic is the church of yesterday compared to today. Now, please feel free at any time to comment and express your opinions of things that you see that may be different. And we're talking about the church, but that in the church is the community. Where the church is inside the community. So even if you see the difference of community today than yesterday, we're going to intertwine all of that in there. And how can we go forward and change it to make the church the cornerstone of the community like it was back in the day? And if you have been watching the news, or if you haven't been sleeping on the rock, we got a couple of things that a couple of pastors have said. One pastor went through some things with his church. So we're going to talk about that and how can we implement certain things in today's church like it was yesterday, if you know what I mean. First, let's start off by, if you don't have the book Selma Self-Sacrifice, we got to do that. We wouldn't be right if we wouldn't mention the autobiography of Frederick D. Reese. If you don't have that, it is on Amazon right now. You can go and pick that up. It's called Selma Self-Sacrifice, written by Mrs. Kathy Walters and Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese. If you want some history on a pair, some F.D. Reese wear, for lack of better words, go to historyonapair.com. We also have the tour. If you want to book a tour, you can go to fdreesefoundation.org. My brother had to do the tour solo last weekend. He went down there, he held it down hard for the tour last weekend. So it's been, we've consistently been getting tours, and people have been reaching out to us, and we got some things that we're working on that we're excited about. So I wanted to get all that out there and appreciate you guys. Something saying? No. I want to get all that out and appreciate everybody that's been supporting us from day one, to being patient with us and keep moving with us. So let's talk about church of yesterday compared to today. The first, let's say, segment we want to talk about is, let's talk about, you want to talk about TD, or you want to go with the other?
I want to say this to all my Instagram followers that's on Instagram right now. Man, go to the link on my story and go to YouTube. It'll take you to YouTube, man, and you can really see the show in the way you want to see it. That you can see my brother, me and him side by side. You know, I don't want y'all to miss now, so I just want to tell y'all that on my Instagram followers.
There you go. Go ahead and get it straight. Which one you want to go with first, TD, or you want to go with the pastor in New York? You want to go with?
It's up to you, bro. It's on up to you. You can narrate it.
Let's go with TD, man.
TD Jakes.
Well, what TD did, and this got a lot of my queens. It kind of got them a little flustered. I got them a little flabbergasted here, if you would. TD, he kind of went viral, but if you don't know who TD Jakes is, he's a great pastor, great leader. He has great words, man. Him and his wife have done things in the community. You have to know TD Jakes. Everybody knows TD Jakes. But how he kind of went semi-viral is by his clip that was played. And here I'll read the title up here. Pastor TD Jakes says, families are lost because we are raising up women to be men. If you haven't seen the clip, search the clips on YouTube. You can Google it and it'll pull up. Basically, he was saying that we are losing families because we are raising our women to be men. Basically, he's saying you are now applauded for how nasty, how mean, how aggressive you can be in the modern society, rather than before us, you were applauded for more walking into your femininity. That's pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, that's pretty much what he was saying. And then he said, pretty much, if I don't have a need to pour into you, pretty much then why am I here? So he got some backlash from that. Which if y'all know me, I have touched on this a couple of times, and me and my brother, we've touched on this a few times. You know, we like to cover all areas when it comes to our community, and relationships is a major part of our community. It's the major part of why we are stuck together, and on the flip side, it can be a major part of why what our downfall may be. I will say this, my personal opinion. I agree with T.D. Jakes. Even though some people took it as he was too forward with it, but in a nutshell, I agree with him. Now women are more praised, especially in our community. Women are more praised for, I can get my own bag. I'm my own boss. They got the boss B with the, you know.
Yeah. I gotta interrupt you.
Go ahead, bro.
He was referencing the Black community.
Correct.
Let's be honest, he was referencing the Black community because it's really the Black community who they have the saying, a strong Black woman. You never hear any other race say, I'm a strong white woman, a strong Latino woman, a strong African woman. Is always the strong Black woman. So let me say that that's one of the, and you know, if a Black woman is too strong, they call her a mad Black woman. So they never say a mad white woman, a mad Latino woman. Is always a mad or a strong Black woman. I just wanted to get that to you.
Yeah. And so this is Church of Yesterday compared to today. And what I will say is I kind of applaud T.D. Jakes, because a lot of the times our Black pastors, they won't touch the subject of the women, because let's be honest, women are majority of the congregation at the churches. Women are more of the people that the women support everything more than the men. So a lot of the times our pastors and our leaders will shy away in the pulpit from discussing certain topics that may be a little hard pill for our women to swallow. And so one thing I will say, whether I agree or disagree with him, I applaud him for even bringing it up.
In today's society,
right? In today's society,
with the feminist movement, you know, it's hard to speak up in today's society and speak a language that's corrective towards women,
right?
You know, and it's just being real. You know, that's not a shot at anybody. You know, because men, we always get the do right by your kids, raise your family, be submissive, and I mean, not be submissive, but love your wife, no infidelity and all that. We take it to a chin. Right. As soon as you say anything about a woman, you know, it's like it's a sin.
Correct.
You know? And I can applaud him for even taking that chance, because his church is probably 70% women.
Right.
You know?
Facts.
You know.
Thanks. West Media Group, I see you here for the dialogue. Appreciate you join in with the conversation. But yeah, you're right, bro. It's a touchy subject because of the, you know, like I said, the women are majority.
Atmosphere.
Right. It's the atmosphere. Women are the majority of it. And when you say, as far as men, we have been in a place where we have had to take the constructive criticism on a more harsh level.
That's right.
And we are expected to sit there and accept it. But a lot of the times with our queens, it's hard for them to accept the constructive criticism. And I think, I'll say this, I think he is right. Women are now applauded for different things, or more in a lane of masculinity nowadays in the modern society than we remember. I ain't gonna say remember, but then the stories I've been told from my granddad's and before generation.
Let's put emphasis on something. Let's say Black women.
Okay.
Because there's no other race who they project in this world to have that type of atmosphere, bro.
Facts.
It's the Black women. Black women are applauded for being masculine.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So let's put Black.
Right.
You know, because you know you got to put emphasis on it so they'll know who you're talking about, because it's not women generally.
Yeah, it's Black women. Black women are applauded for that, and you go ahead, bro.
Because I want you to go back and look. Remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president against Donald Trump? if she wanted to be forced, they never called her a mad black woman. I mean, a mad woman. They didn't say anything about nothing.
Correct.
But remember when you had a debate with Vice President now in Pence, she had to preserve herself on the way she answered some question and how she approached some question because she did not want to be called that's mad black woman.
That's true.
You get
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? You see the difference? It's a difference, bro.
You are 100% right. And what's crazy is, man, it's like I said, it's a touchy subject for our queens, but I really think, like, I was, you know me, sometimes I scroll through my social media, and if there's anything like this come up, you know, this is the type of lane I kind of like to walk in. And I was kind of debating with, I don't want to say who it is. I should have asked permission if I could say who it is first. But it's a singer, it's a famous singer that I know that she posted something. We know each other, so I know the love. We was going back and forth. And I asked her, I said, well, she was basically saying men, we nowadays, modern black men, we don't know how to handle a woman. And I said, number one, why do we have to handle anything? Number one. Number two, but then why is the modern woman, why is the black woman affected by more of the modern society? Now, it's no one else. Why is the black woman's marriage rate? Why is the black, like, why if it's all about just quote unquote modern women, that means it should be all racist.
That's right.
But why is it, if I'm going by her stance, why is it that our black queens are the one that's affected the most? And so I kind of put that out on the table, and she went back and forth with me. But I just want to kind of put that out. Why is our black queens affected the most when it comes to the modern society and the modern woman and more of the modern way of doing things? If it's working. Now, if it's working, if it's not affecting the man's race and everybody's good, then cool. But if it's not, because I also see now that it's 70% of couples are now staying in the home.
Okay.
I saw that. So that's an attest to our black men. But at the same time, only 1 in 4 of our black women are being married. So you gotta sometimes get a little self-awareness. And I think that's what TV was kind of.
He really is. You know, he was really putting emphasis on, and if you look at this too, you have a lot of black men now are marrying outside of their race. We're not going to talk about that. Why are they?
Right.
And see, and I know I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but I'm gonna say it. You know, because what people project. I'm not saying this because this is not a reality in my life.
Correct.
My wife is a great wife. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about what they project in the media and outward is that because black women are so educated, they're not wifely good.
Right.
But they're educated.
Right.
And they get the bag and they get money and they get the lights and they can do everything else. So what men have done is went around the world and saw, and they are reminded of the women of their grandparents or their grandmother or their mother.
Facts.
And there's other races, not saying white women, but there's other races out there. You know, you go across the water and you have found other women that are submissive, fun, and loving. And not so educated bound that they are not no marriage good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's okay. Look, my wife is educated. My wife has a master's in nursing, but she's still a wife.
Right.
But what we tend to do is that because I'm educated, now you can't tell me.
Yeah, and I think that's what it speaks to. Is like now that I'm educated, I can't coexist. But if I know how, women should know how to walk and chew gum at the same time. Right. So you can't tell me. And that's what it's about. That's why we always say, you have said, I've said it too. The most important relationship is your marriage, because it shows the best amount of growth.
That's right.
And I think what happens is the modern day woman has got in their head that now you can't tell me nothing. And so what happens is the men come along and say, I can't coexist with a person with that mindset.
That's right.
And so I think that's what affects it.
Well, this is what I want all black women to do. I'm going to go down history. And these are facts.
Okay.
These are not my opinion.
Okay.
These are facts.
Facts.
You go to slavery. After the Emancipation of the Proclamation, the black family was still together.
Facts.
After Reconstruction and all the massacres that happened to black people, Rosewood, Florida, I can go down the list, Tulsa, Oklahoma, New Orleans, Atlanta, Chicago, Charleston, South Carolina. I can keep going. The black family was still together.
Correct.
Through the Civil Rights Movement of 1965, the Voting Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Act, all that, the black family was still together.
Correct.
But then something what you call was affirmative action.
There you go.
See, let's talk about the years of affirmative action and the years of crack and cocaine.
There you go.
Both of those they parallel together.
Right.
So if you go to that time, this is when you see the destruction of the black family. What you did, you took the black man because the black man, it was a hard time, but drugs got into the family. And guess what? You had something called welfare. And see, they said, look, you can receive these government assistance
under one condition.
Under one condition, that only if it's one parent home. So guess who was the parent home? The mother.
Right.
The mother will always, unless you're married, you get a divorce. The mother will always trump the father when it comes to parental control, physical control over the family. Let's be real. And then there's another thing called affirmative action. That guess what? But the white, and this is the facts, and this is not opinionated.
Okay.
The white woman chose wealth over independence. You get what I'm saying? They do affirmative action, which affirmative action was supposed to have been for the black man.
That's right.
But it wasn't. It
Right.
went to the women.
Right.
Okay, because the women was considered a what? Minority.
Correct.
Remember, the black man had the right to vote before white women had the right to vote. Let's be honest. So with affirmative action, what you had is the white woman decided to take that wealth and take it back to the home and be submissive to that forklift driver, that truck driver.
That's right. That's right.
But the black woman, this is facts, man.
It's fact.
Now, this is not an Allen's emotion. It's just honest God truth.
Yeah,
What they chose is independence to say, look what I can do. So when you take I, and that means that you are self what? Centered. So, but to be successful as a family person, you have to take self out the center. And so this is what happened to the black family.
That's right.
This is not emotion. These are facts.
You can go look it up. It's documented. What up, Jeff? Jeff said, what's up now? West Media Group. Now I won't. let's read this. We're not taking that. Let me finish it before you jump in. We're not taking that stuff that grandma took. Granddaddy paid all the bills. The men now want to go 50-50.
Let's be real. Let's be honest. And to who is that?
West Media Group.
West Media. I know who that is, but I ain't gonna say her name. We'll talk later when I see you in Selma, Alabama. But what I was saying, So what?
West.
I got West right there. What I would say to that is that this right here, with inflation, with the world, when the world changed, one income could not take take care of the family. We went from shotgun homes to homes that were probably 1,000 square footage to now the most people got to have a home with 2 or 3 kids to 3,300 square foot.
Thanks.
So the bigger the home, the more money it take. Let's be honest. The black woman we'll give y'all this. Y'all more educated than the black man.
Yeah. Facts.
So by you being more educated in certain areas, you're gonna bring in more money. So that's the difference. But what does money have to do with the way that your home is ran?
And I want West Media to elaborate on the first sentence. We're not taking that stuff that grandma took.
What's wrong with grandma?
I want her to elaborate because I think I know. I don't want to say her. I want them to.
You already know who you are.
I know them to elaborate on that because I want to hear. Because I really want to hear. I know where they're going with it. I want to because I don't want to assume. I want to hear what they mean by we are not taking that stuff that grandma took because. I'm not gonna say nothing about that. I'm gonna let them elaborate on what they mean. They said granddaddy paid all the bills. Now, one thing I do know is a lot of those women were educated back in the day.
Yeah, nurses.
They were nurses and
teachers and secretaries. They work
right. But one thing I do know, economically, one income homes are rare. That's correct, Jeff. One thing I do know is even though those women were educated.
Mm-hmm.
One thing they understood
Mm-hmm.
was teamwork. When you said something big when you said take yourself out of it.
Self-centered, man.
You can't be self-centered.
That's right.
And I'm gonna say this, and I might get some backlash.
It don't matter.
I said this. I said it's easier. See, this is what it is, bro. It's deeper than that. It's easier to be a mother than to be a wife. And I'm gonna tell you,
and surely, because mother's dictatorship.
Mothers is dictatorship.
Wife is democracy.
You can be wrong and tell your kids, go sit down anyway.
That's right.
You can't be wrong with a husband and just say that.
That's right.
So what happens is a lot of these women, they had a mindset of, as long as I'm the dictatorship, I can make it work. Look
That's
at
right.
me. I'm a single mother. I'm making it. Yeah,
I'm making it work. That's right.
Applause to you.
Yeah.
Applause to you. But real growth and real teamwork comes when you're equal to somebody, and you still got to submit yourself when you're wrong.
You gotta negotiate.
You got to negotiate. See,
Yes,
that's
sir.
the difference. That's why men, they say, that's why Christ told the church to love,
Mm-hmm.
to the women to submit. See, it's hard for that. You might as well cuss them out when you say
It's harder for us to love because we're physically, we are physically driven. See, we can admit our faults all day. A man that's physically driven, he got to conquer the physical every day. Every day. But see, women can't admit that it's hard for them to submit. So why it's so easy for me to say that, look, man, we have to, as men, do better at conquering the physical. Men out there, I'm talking to all men, since y'all say men don't get on men.
Here we go.
Men, you got to do a better job than conquering the physical every day.
Facts.
So why women can't look at themselves and say, I got to do a better job in making sure that I'm submissive. But they want to take submissive out the word. You know how many times I didn't marry someone? They want to say, I don't say submissive. Let's find another word to replace submissive. Oh, but y'all don't want to take another word to say love.
Now check this out. West Media Group. They laughed first. Then they said, Granddaddy never let anyone disrespect his wife in the home. The men now, woo. Now hold up.
Hold on now.
Now hold up. What men are you talking about?
Hold on. MJ, I got something to say to this. First of all, I got an 11-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son.
Okay.
They would never know everything mom and daddy discuss. How you know?
Yeah.
See, what you're going through in life, I guarantee you going through the same thing grandmama and granddaddy went through. But what they did, they went to the bedroom and they discussed their issues. You get what I'm saying? They discussed and worked it out. You don't know everything grandma and granddaddy went through. You get what I'm saying? So how you know? What you need to do is submit. Go have a conversation and tell your mate what you don't like.
No. Anastasia Barnes said men do not always admit their faults. Laugh out loud. Now, I'll be the first to say we don't admit our faults. Men or women. Let's just keep it a buck. But one thing I will say is when it comes to submitting, I think I've seen men do it more than women.
Oh yeah.
On a daily basis. Men, what you want to eat? Whatever you want, babe. What you want me to cook? As long as I eat. What colors you want to wear for the family pictures? Don't matter.
What movie you want to see?
What movie you want to see? Really don't matter. You want to go bowling or you want to go hiking? Don't matter. Whatever you want to do.
I guarantee is when they go on vacation, I want to do a poll. I guarantee it's more women who choose a vacation spot.
You know it is.
Than the men.
You
For
know
the family. Guarantee, bro.
Guarantee.
I guarantee.
So I see men submitting, and that's why the counteract, like you said, God said love.
That's
because
right.
It's harder for us to overcome that physical urge.
That's right.
So that's our problem. That's our number one issue. That's number one. We're gonna admit it. All men.
All day.
Stand up. Put it on his shoulder. Right? The one thing, but the thing about the woman, it flipped. It's easier for y'all to love, but it's harder for y'all to submit. And that's what we're saying. Now, she said, what is considered submissive? I think everyone has a different definition behind the word submissive.
I can break that down.
Break it down, bro.
I think submissive at the end of the day, if you and your husband come into a situation, that man ain't always right. A wise man will listen to his wife.
Facts.
A wise man will listen to the words she tell him, and at the end of the day, take those things in consideration.
Facts.
But I think that what submissive is that if you and your husband come to a place where y'all totally disagree, he want to go one way and you want to go another way, and it's causing turmoil. I believe right then But why she say, well, especially a man, a righteous man.
Correct.
She say, well, baby, you know what? I'm leaning on you.
Lean on.
That's what I feel like submit. I'm not saying everything goes what a man say. When he say do, you do it. When he say do, no, I'm not saying that's hell. But what I will say is that if you see that he feels strongly about something and he feel like this is the way the family should roll, well, woman should sit back.
And you 100%. I agree with that. And West Media Group back in, they said submission happens naturally. Most men don't understand that. Now let me push back with that, West Media Group. That is so far from the truth. It's ridiculous. You know why men understand submission? Submission happens naturally because we do it on a daily basis. The problem is, this is the problem.
What's the problem? Tell them.
Women don't even want to see if it's gonna happen naturally or control. They don't even want to get to step 8. You mentioned the word. There ain't no discussion. You mentioned the word. You listen, men can't even get to the point where they discuss the terms of what they think submission look like. Because as soon as you mention the word,
they don't like that word.
The women are knocking it down before it even comes. Now, when you say submission happens naturally, let's do this. This is what I want to do, because you said we need more women on this panel. And surprisingly, the most that's on coming is women. But let's say this. I want you to ask every married woman and every married man. I want you to ask every married woman, did their husband make them submit, or did they choose to submit to their husband because they knew that it would make the whole thing better? Ask every married woman that. Did their husband come in and say, you gonna submit to me? Or did that woman say, you know what? I need to submit to this guy because everything is moving in the right direction.
He got some wisdom about him.
He got some wisdom about him. He ain't perfect. Now, I submit to him as long as the good outweigh the bad and most of his decisions are going the right way. If he bump his head every now and then making a decision for the family, I'm gonna rock with that.
Yeah, because MJ, guess what? We don't always make the right decision.
We don't.
I got folks on here who follow. They do crypto. They do stock market.
Right.
They do everything.
Right.
Guess what? They ain't always hit.
Right.
You don't hit 100 times.
No. Because
guess what? Like they say, you don't lose, you learn. When you learn, when the decisions that you made that wasn't right, you learn the lesson. I know not to go down that path no more.
Facts.
But your lady got to be right there with you, saying, you know what, baby, we learned. Facts. But guess what? I got your back when we get to that point again.
Man, West Media Group said not true. Listen, West Media Group, we're gonna hit you. I want you to be a guest on this show.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna talk about a couple of things. I want your input because I mean, I don't know. Maybe the people that you may know are not handling it right. But I can honestly say most of the men I know, even if they're not in my inner circle or my second circle, my third, I went to school with them. I can see certain through their timeline. I don't see that. I don't see men just saying you gonna submit to me.
And bro, I look at my circle. My granddad, a lot of people don't realize how headstrong FD was.
Yes, sir.
But you best believe Allen Reese had the ear of FD Reese.
Oh man.
Y'all just don't, they just don't know.
Oh man.
They don't know. They don't know. Look at Marvin and Francis Reese.
Right.
But they say, remember that pool they got in the yard, at the house. They said, Francis Reese want that pool gonna be out there where that pool at. It's out there. They've been married how long? 31 years.
39 years.
Come on, bro. I'm saying the people in my circle who've done it and continue to do it.
Fact.
I don't know this man they talking about. Fact. Look at Demetrius and Phoebe, our cousins.
Fact.
I don't know this. Where is this dominant, mean guy that they're talking about that just got this burden over this woman just saying you're gonna do what I say, do like a slave? Where is that guy? I don't understand that. I want people to tell me, show me where this guy, because when you look around at these men who's married and getting married, I don't see this evil guy just saying, do what I say, do when I say, do it, and how I say, do it. Where is he?
He don't exist.
He don't exist.
Not majority.
He don't exist.
Not majority, man.
He don't exist. So you need to do some soul searching and say, is this man like Santa Claus and the tooth fairy fictitious that the media that has put in my head who this guy is. Don't get me wrong, you got some messed up men out there. But I'm talking about these husbands who's getting married. I can go down the list of my classmate, my family, the men who's married. I look at my Uncle Ed.
Okay. You can not only look at your inner circle, it will be beneficial to get a plethora of different types of men. Listen, I do this. We have done it. I promise we've done it. That's number one. That's Anastasia. She said those men exist. So I'm guessing she's saying those men that say you're going to submit whatever submits. Jeff said me and mine are a team. That's how you're supposed to have it. A team. And West Media Group is applauding Anastasia. But we gonna have to listen.
Hey man, we're gonna come back to this.
We have to come back.
This don't make any sense, man.
Yeah,
LJ, what I'm saying is this. Hey, I ain't trying to. I got 13 years under my belt. 13 now. How many you got up under your belt?
8, man.
We got some folks that got longer than us on our belt. Man. These men saying the same thing. Where y'all get y'all information from?
And that's what I'm trying to see.
Look at Mr. and Miss Jolly.
And I said it like this, man. Like we know people that's been
married, man, 50 years.
I know people that's been married 2 years. Matter of fact, I just over the weekend I went to my cousin and just celebrated their 10-year vow renewal.
Look, hold on. West Media Group said when a man is checking all the buttons, you don't ain't no man checking all the buttons.
Wait a minute. All what? But so women check all buttons.
Come on, man. Ain't nobody checking all buttons. We imperfect.
Check all the boxes. So let me ask you a question. So are most women checking all the boxes?
Ain't nobody, MJ, ain't nobody checking all boxes nowhere.
See, this I'm glad she said that because let's touch on this. I think this is the vast difference between, I was talking to my wife the other day about this. Women have had this fictitious expectations of a marriage of a man. When they start vetting men, they have this like they are Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like they riding on the Aladdin carpet. Like men understand if I can just get 7 out of the 10 boxes,
I'm good.
Maybe 6.5, I can work on the rest.
We can grow the rest.
The problem with women, he got to check all the boxes, Alan. So, because you know the 6 feet, 6 pack, and 6 figures, that came from women. So you got to be 6 feet, 6 pack, 6 figures, be faithful. You got to be blind.
And that's on the 3% of the men.
You got to be blind. Yeah. Height 6 feet.
It's 3% of the men.
Now, watch this. Now, they ain't talking about race. So, if he black, now you're talking about 0.0.
Yeah.
So then he got to make this money. Then he got to get a great relationship with his mama. Some of them he can't have no kids. Then he got to be loving. He got to be caring. He got to be ambitious.
He got to be Christ, and Christ wouldn't be good enough. Christ would not be good enough in the physical, bro, because we didn't told our daughters that, you know. And don't get me wrong, you are a princess, and that this Cinderella story, and that's just not true. It's not true. You got to work. I guarantee you, ask every married couple, how do you get to 50 years? They're gonna tell you, look, you gotta go through the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
They did a poll not too long. I wish I had the information. Majority of women said that a man making $40,000 a year alone is outdated.
Come on, bro.
I want you to
come on, bro.
Imagine that, bro. What a woman is now saying,
bro. Come on.
That they said a man with a 9 to 5 is outdated.
Outdated.
He making $40,000 a year. He's outdated.
So that's 90% of the men. 97%. He's outdated. So why you can't get his 40, 50, and your 50? Y'all got 100. Y'all can build a great family with it. It's crazy, but you know what I blame? I blame the black church.
Okay, get him.
I got to go back to the black church because we've been pacifying folks for years. There was a time in the black church when a woman was pregnant, she had to get up in front of the church and apologize. Man and woman. We've been giving these feel-good sermons, bro. And you can't tell nobody when they out of line no more.
Facts.
You can't. All they want to hear is they blessing, they car, they education, they house, and life just not like that.
It ain't.
Life is full of roller coasters and waves and turbulence.
Right.
And if you don't want to get through the turbulence, man, you will not benefit the loving part of having a good husband, a good wife. I was 23 when I got married. Yeah, was what people say I was ready? Probably no.
Right.
But I made the right decision because guess what? I found a wife, and I knew she was a wife, and guess what? I wasn't gonna take advantage of her. She didn't deserve me playing games with her 8, 9 years, having kids with her. No.
Right.
And guess what? She been with me since through thick and thin.
Okay, so you're right. Jeff said, "Guess I'm outdated." Jeff, yeah, a lot of us are.
We outdated, bro.
Anastasia said, "That's not my list, nor most of the women I know. These women do exist, of course, but they're not the majority of my circle either. Just as you said, your circle is a certain type of man." And West Media Group said, "Not my list." And then Anastasia said, "You are looking at the facts for majority of women, but staying within your circle when fact checking the men." No, let me hit this. When we fact checking men, when I just said the number one reason that men fail in relationships is infidelity. That's not my circle. That's men all across the board.
That's right.
We got to do better. That's black men, white men, Asian
everybody.
That is undisputed. That is what we fall short.
Exactly.
That's previous men and modern men, but we're talking about modern now. So the modern woman, modern woman, where they are failing is the word submission. Because, like my brother said, he spit the facts. He went back to affirmative action and everything. So what happens is now the woman got the power, so now it got to their head. Mm-hmm. So now they feel like they don't need a man. But the men have been in that same power that y'all are just now getting to. We have never said we don't need a woman.
I need a woman.
Across the board, you never said. Denzel Washington got an award a few years ago. Denzel Washington, who is undisputed the GOAT in most people's mind when it comes to acting. This man got up on national TV and said, "I would not be alive if it was not for Pauletta Washington. I would not be the man I am today." Now, I want you to take that same thing and put a woman in that same premise, in that same situation. She wouldn't say nothing like that about her husband. She would be a good man. Now, maybe Denzel's wife will say it, but we're talking modern. We're talking about the modern woman when Megan Thee Stallion getting NAACP Image Awards. We are praising WAP with Cardi B. And when this is what we're doing. You see, and so it's different. So just like you said, the modern man have shortcomings. One of the big reasons is with women, they can't. It's the sister code. Y'all think the male code strong. We need to do a show on the sister code. The sister code so strong that the married women won't even get on public.
Won't say nothing to the Cardi B.
Nothing.
The word says the love of money is the root of all evil. And I don't care nobody say. A lot of women, I ain't saying all women, I'm not gonna say most, but a lot of women in our community, they chose the bag to be the head of their life and not the black family. And I always say this: you cannot be about the black agenda if your priority is not being about the black family.
Can't be,
because everything falls from there.
Can't be. You can't be pro-black and you ain't about the black family.
That's just the truth. You know,
no way. I can't see it. Anastasia saying I'm talking about as a whole. Man, I'm lost on that one. I ain't know which one you was coming on.
What's that? How many black men are hearing the same sermons? I think the modern black men, one of the sermons that they have done better. I think there are a lot of black men. It don't matter they're from the streets or whatnot. They're in their kids' life.
Alan,
today, I think those sermons did teach to them, and they doing a better job.
Let's say this. I'm with you, West Media Group. But the black men didn't have to go in the church to hear these sermons.
That's right.
They hear it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Take care of your kids, be in your kids' life, stop cheating. You hear it everywhere. It's always been a market. Even if it wasn't the sermons, it was Margaret Povich. It was the Ricky Lake show. Listen.
What on Mother's Day they taught? What on Mother's Day they taught the women to go be submissive to their husband? I ain't never heard a preacher say that. But on Father's Day they'll tell you go be better fathers, be better husbands.
She said most church bodies consist of mostly women and their kids. Why is that? Well, I know a lot of especially in Arkansas, a lot of the dads, I'm being honest, I'm not making an excuse. A lot of the dads were working.
Like our dad was.
They was working. They was working on Sundays and out there trying to get the bag. And let's be honest, Wes, women control what is the ratio is ridiculous. Even in everything, women control it. So the church is no different. Not women control it, but they're the majority of it. So when you want to sell anything, you sell to women. Anything you do, women are the majority consumers. That's with anything. On the only time men are majority consumers is probably sports, and they even market that to women.
They trying to boy. Don't let me get on that.
Look, Jeff said he worked on this Sunday. He worked
on the reason why I got Sundays off because I told my job I can't work Sundays because I'm a musician.
And that was after I had 5 or 6 jobs where I was working on.
Yeah.
So the facts as a whole,
most people in the corporate world is off on Saturdays and Sundays.
Facts.
We don't take those things in.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, that's true. And said the facts as a whole relating to the modern man versus the facts as well based on the modern woman. That's what I was speaking on. No, the modern. I would say this. If you look at the numbers, Anastasia, and you know we can go to this all day. If you look at the numbers, the men stance hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. The black men are still married. The marriage rate is relatively the same. Our income is relatively the same. Even though y'all are more educated, we still outnumber y'all because we go into more of the STEM. We go into science, technology, engineering, and math. So what's happening is y'all are getting more educated than us, but we are still doing the harder jobs, which pay more.
That's right.
So y'all more in the caretaking industry, the teachers, the nurses, and everything of that. But we still out there doing with the construction hats on and doing things of that nature. So that's why we out earn y'all. So if you look at the black men, let's just take the last 40, 50 years. Our numbers haven't really changed. Our marriage rate is still the same. With mass incarceration, we still make up majority of the prison system. So our numbers haven't changed. The problem is with y'all numbers have changed in the marriage rate. That is where y'all have took the most detrimental fall. And they saying women that are 40 and over and single are the most depressed women. They are on the most.
They go get a dog. They go get a dog and that's it.
Listen, I ain't got to keep talking. Somebody, y'all know somebody in y'all family, a woman that you like, why is she single? Mm-hmm. And then you realize it because she has so many standards and so many fictitious ways about herself that she can't coexist with no one. So it'll make it hard for a man to come in and say, I'm gonna take on the burden and take on all this stuff, her stubbornness, her unwillingness, her not willing to submit, her this. She got these standards, and a lot of women they are overvaluing themselves. Just all I'm saying, just take a little bit of self.
We tell the truth about ourselves. I'm probably
I knew I got a big forehead and crooked teeth. I've known that since life. So guess what I did? That's what I did. Work on my personality, sung a little bit more, and then it helped me out, right? I've known this. I'm 5'9", I ain't 6 feet. So I got to take what I got and enhance what I can enhance.
Bro, we gonna rate ourselves under. Then they tell us, but you look good for real.
For real? You messed up, man. And most men know this. Most big guys know, hey, I'm a big guy, but guess what? I can make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? I can play football for a few years. You know what I'm saying? And so men, our journey is different than women. And so now you see it with the modern women, it has created a monster, man. Mm-hmm. It's hard to contain, man.
Hey man, this about, with Megan Thee Stallion and what's her name, Cardi B and all them.
Yeah.
They are the matriarchs of the culture.
Come on, dog.
In rap, in gangster rap, is the matriarch of the culture.
Bro.
And then the two worst things that the black culture can have. I don't care nobody saying it. Gangster rap music is the worst thing that can happen. And Megan Thee Stallion is some of the worst things that can happen to the black culture. Okay, how you get an NAACP award for shaking your behind? For real, bro. For real. And gangster rap, think about it. We talking about rip this person. It's a shame how they got killed and died. But they be the same ones talking about on their rap that they be killing in making hell and robbing folks and killing people, dog. It's just like Congress trying to pass a law that does not allow the government to use rappers' lyrics against them. I disagree. I think they should use their lyrics. Because while your little kids out there listening to their lyrics, your little kids taking their lyrics to heart. They going out there disrespecting the elder, killing folks, robbing folks, and this and that. I think they should. The gangster rap is terrible, folks.
I'm 100%. One thing about me and bro, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. We very diverse. And I'm a Jeff said these rolls are Hawaiian and they come with confidence. See, Jeff is a big guy. He rolls Hawaiian, dog, but I'm confident with it. West Media Group say y'all won. Let me shut up and dribble. Hey, we gonna hit you up. We gonna hit you up. But you're 100% right. And I forgot the dude name that did that presentation on that, man. He said you can say black it's perpetuated purposely because we do the gangster rap. They'll let that go in, right? You can say that, and you can say how you gonna kill and this, that, and the
put it on radio.
You can put it on radio. It's gonna get the whole.
But we need these folks to kill each other. We need them to be savages. They always have, look, man, since they freed the slaves, they've always have wanted a way to portray blacks as savages, man. And we have never been savages.
Right.
We ain't the one that went all around the world and got slaves and tried to put our way of thinking on everybody else.
Thanks.
We're the only people that hasn't been savages, but they always portray us as savages. So it went from making white folks go to the movie theaters after the Emancipation Proclamation, before and after portraying slaves as they rape women,
right?
They're gonna kill you, they're gonna take your little girls and do this and that. They did that with the black face.
Correct.
So when they weren't working no more, then they got gangster rap.
Correct.
Now they're gonna rob, kill you and stuff. They're gonna shoot you, can't go nowhere. And these little black boys, they take this stuff to heart. When most rappers ain't never did nothing until they got this, they did.
That's facts.
But the kids in the neighborhoods, they take these lyrics and they take it to heart and they go do the killing and all that. Like Young Thug now. Young Thug need to be in jail. How y'all black folks out here talking about release Young Thug? No. Him and everybody else who rolling with him need to be locked up, put them up under jail. When we gonna take our community back, and when we gonna have control over how people look at us? It's time for
and we are part of the problem, though.
We are,
because we participate with it.
Yeah,
we participate. I seen little girl 4, 5 years old shaking her tent. I'm like, listen,
come on,
man.
it's funny.
Yeah, and it's comical.
Come on, bro.
15, 16, and you don't let her over sexualize herself. Then she get taken advantage of by older men, and then what happens? We keep that under wraps. See, it's
stupid, bro. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care if y'all hate me for saying Young Thug, release Young Thug. They need to keep him in jail.
Facts.
Why black folks on here talking about release Young Thug, release these gangster rap? They've been preaching and teaching about killing, robbing, and destroying the black community all this time. Then when they get locked up, release them. What? What? Man, keep them in the jail.
Tank said on Drink Champ.
Come on, bro.
He said our threat is love. They said they don't want that.
That's right. They don't want that.
They don't want that.
As long as the OJ, think about it. How black people doing the OJ's Temptation. You know, when they was the music to listen
right.
to.
When they was the popular.
When they were the popular. When R&B was the leading music in the black culture. We had love.
Right. Now it's hip hop.
And then there's the rap. Kidnap hip hop.
Right. It did.
Let's be honest. Right. Hip hop is in the trunk of gangster rap, and gangster rap took them, and we need to pay the rent.
Right.
Fact. Really, gangster rap should not be in the same category as hip hop. It should not be a initiative up under hip hop.
Right.
Because it's not. Because gangster rap fuse everything, bro. Everybody want to be a little thug. Everybody want to sell drugs. Don't nobody want to work hard.
Right.
Don't nobody want to work hard, bro.
Looked upon now as less than when you
grinding.
Come on, man. It's crazy.
Come on.
It's crazy. Now you know we went all day with that one. We're gonna touch on the other subject that we had lined up. I know y'all seen this pastor here, Bishop Lamar Whitehead. He's the bishop of the Leaders of Tomorrow International Churches. This is the guy that got robbed. He has a church in New York. He got robbed on camera. I think everybody pretty much has seen what happened. It says Brooklyn pastor robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry during church service. Now, if you looked at certain videos of him, besides this, he often wears Fendi suit jackets and he drives a Rolls Royce. He has a few other businesses and things of that nature, but a little flashy. Wow. So what you guys say about that?
Hey, look, man, they go back to what we, I don't know the background of this pastor. I don't know, his membership or what he's doing in the community, what his business is. I don't know that, but I want to know how many times in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s you've seen people come in and rob the church during service. Now, you might have had somebody come in and find out the deacon was sleeping with the wife or something. You might have some altercations in there.
Right.
But I'm talking about the audacity of young people with guns to come in the church.
Come in the church.
In a church, Jay.
In the church, my dog.
To come in there and rob the church, the pastor.
Crazy.
Come on, bro. This is what gangster rap does. This is what gangster rap does. You have a generation who just don't care.
Facts, man.
They just don't care that you can go in the church and rob the church during service, bro.
Yeah, Jeff said, we listen to drug dealers, they listen to drug users. Yeah, and he said during the service.
During the service. The audacity, bro. But guess what? We want to follow the gangster rap.
Yeah. They lead the culture.
They lead the culture.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. But then you turn around and say, can't nobody do nothing with these kids. But can't nobody say nothing to your child.
Can't nobody say nothing to your child.
And you get in the car, and all they listen to is Lil Thug, they listen who else? King Von, they listen to all these Lil Baby. That's all they listening to. You know what I'm saying? And that's who they turn into, bro. Savages.
That's facts, man.
Savages.
You get outcomes like this.
Music is therapy. One thing I do know, I was minister of music for a long time. And one thing I do know, I know how to set the foundation musically. That's one thing I do know.
Facts.
Music brings vibration. Music is therapy. Music is a powerful instrument to use to make people feel a certain type of way.
Fact. Music is one of the only things that can change your emotions.
Change your emotions at a drop of a dime.
Yeah, man.
We as the church understand it. We know how to lead in praise and worship. We know how to play stuff to make you shout.
There you go.
But we feel like the gangster rap ain't got no.
We feel like
that don't hold no weight. Yes, it do.
Out of here, bro. Sure does.
Come on, man.
Sure does.
When we gonna take? When as black people we gonna allow these preachers? To my preachers. When we gonna go back and start teaching sermons just like TD Jakes did?
Yeah.
That should be every day. Every day, bro.
Facts, man. Facts. I know we over our time, but I got to do what I do every day.
I got one thing to say.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
About this tour I had.
Okay.
And I want everybody in Selma to share this one for me.
Oh, yeah.
And if you got a problem with it, come see me. You don't run from nobody.
Yes, sir.
Someone told me in my face that F.D. Reese was scared to run for office in 1966.
He was scared to run.
Scared.
Okay.
I told the young man, I said, homie, scared and F.D. Reese went in the same vocabulary. And see, I know things like that are always said about F.D. Reese, but I'm here to correct those messages. And we won't be silent about that, but we will not take the disrespect.
Fact.
So what I told the young man, I went back to my grandfather's house and I found a voting card that granddad had that he ran for office in 1964.
Okay.
And I went back and I put it on his table. And I said, why would he be scared to run in 66 after the Voting Rights Act? But he ran in 64 before the Voting Rights Act.
When it was more hell.
It was more hell than 64 for him to run, the audacity of him. So I said, hold on. Let me give you a rundown of F.D. Reese. Did you know they had trumped up some embezzlement charges on him? Do you think the reason why he didn't run is because y'all in Selma, Alabama, and the other leaders had tarnished his credibility with the embezzlement? No one black in Selma wanted to be around him. Listen to Chestnut. J.L. Chestnut said that when he beat the case, that the black people who came and gave him hugs would not want to be seen with him a day earlier.
Facts.
So you talking about scared, he couldn't run because he had to get stuff straight. So all y'all in Selma, Alabama talking about F.D. Reese was scared in 1966. Man, you know what you can do? Go learn your history. Come talk to me.
There you go.
Come talk to me. Let me tell you the truth. because y'all have hidden the truth for so long, and I don't mind telling the truth right now.
Facts, man.
You're going to put some respect on FD Reed's name. You're going to put some respect on his legacy. And if you got something to say, don't say it on Facebook. Don't say it on Twitter. Don't say it on YouTube. Don't say it around the street on Water or on Broad Street. Come talk to Allen and Martin Reese Jr. Yeah. And we'll tell you the truth. We might teach you something that you might learn, something that you never known before.
Right. Yeah, we welcome it.
But he was not scared. It's that he put Selma on his back.
Come on.
And because he used some money to pay for his house note, that he was able to do because Selma City Schools had fired him for standing up for black people to have the right to vote, that they tried to bring up embezzlement charges, and Martin Luther King, John Lewis, and didn't come to his back until J.L. Chestnut said that he was going to subpoena the SCLC corporately and individually, and that's the only reason why other black leaders came to his back. That's the only reason why F.D. Reese didn't run for office in Selma, Alabama in 1966. So get your facts straight before you go out there and share lies.
Yeah, man.
About F.D. Reese, because we gonna holler at you now. He's gonna run from nobody.
Come on, you can say a lot about Granddaddy, but that scared you throw that in trash can and post some trash can juice on it because he already had the right to vote and he was fighting.
He already had the right to vote.
He already had the right to vote. So why would he try to get everybody else the right to vote? He leading it, and he already had the right to vote. We can go down the line.
We go down the line, bro. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah. And y'all see what vibes we on. We're going to stay on this vibe. We don't care who like it, who don't like it. We standing on truth. My granddad always said that, man, stand on the truth. Yeah, because the truth going to stand there. And we don't mind speaking. We just ain't going to be quiet.
Yeah, it's true, man. Come holler at us. We got documents. We got stuff backed up. But let's go down to UCM right here. Speaking of that, this F.D. Reese, Mr. Fred Shuttlesworth, and Martin Luther King Jr. It's the same day right here. You see him right there, same lineup. That's Mr. Ralph Abernathy right there beside him. This is the Selma Montgomery March. He is standing next to Mrs. Coretta Scott King. In that folder has the speech that Dr. King delivered at the Capitol Montgomery that said, "How long, not long." That was the title of the speech. You know that. This is also another picture of him, same picture. This is also another picture of him at Brown's Chapel. Do you know why Brown Chapel is Brown Chapel? Because Brown Chapel is the only church that called Granddaddy back to break the injunction to have the mass meetings at the church when it was against the city ordinance was against the law for 5 or more to congregate.
That's right.
Brown Chapel.
We share all this on the tour.
You can come get some. This is the day of Bloody Sunday. Well, that was another dispute we had to get correct. They said Granddaddy was not at Bloody Sunday. As you can see, there he is with Mr. John Lewis right there with the backpack on, and Reverend Jose Williams standing next to him, who was in charge of the logistics of the Bloody Sunday March. Granddaddy was in charge to make sure everybody marching double file was 3 feet apart. So that's why he was not in the front of the march, but he was there present in the county floor. As a matter of fact, Dr. King talked to Granddaddy, and they tried to get Granddaddy to not do the Bloody Sunday, but he said we were already lined up 600 deep. Yeah, they were already
on the way.
So we on the way. So we going with it. So you want to say he wasn't there, but whatever. We just that everybody know this picture here. This is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Ralph Abernathy, and Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese. And behind them is the Dallas County Voters League. Man, this is one of the marches in Selma. This is them kneeling before they had to pray. Before they actually got locked up this day, right?
Yeah, they got locked up.
Got locked up this day in Selma. This is also Reverend Dr. F.D. Reese with the high priest with Dr. Martin Luther King and Ralph Abernathy. This was, I believe, at Mr. James Reed funeral. You don't know who James Reed is? He's the white fella that was killed in Selma, the white minister that was killed in Selma, going to get something to eat. Was he transported? Nah, that was Viola. But yeah, he was killed in Selma, Alabama. This is the picture of the first Jubilee. You know what the Jubilee is? It's the anniversary they have in March of every year in Selma, Alabama, for the bridge crossing of March 7, 1965, which is the day of Bloody Sunday. This is the first annual one. As you can see, the lovely Mrs. Coretta Scott King and the late great Congressman John Lewis is there. They are coming into Selma to see the man himself. Before they marched across the bridge, this was, of course, after Dr. King was assassinated. As you can see, the afros and everything tell you what decade this was in. And so we like to do that before we get out of here, just so we're not blowing smoke Even though we are grandsons of Reverend Dr. Fred D. Reese, we do like to have conversations to keep the community moving forward, to help our brothers and sisters. And like I said, man, if you want to be a guest on it, please join in. Please, man, we'd love to have you as a guest. Having more diverse opinions is always good for the conversation. So anything you want to say, bro?
Y'all got my final thought. I think I'm gonna call this the final thought.
Yeah, say matter of fact.
Jerry Springer gonna take that from me.
We're gonna do that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Start it.
I like to say this to what we call black-owned businesses who want to portray themselves as Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which we know that Tulsa, Oklahoma represented excellence. I ain't gonna say black excellence. I feel like they represented excellence, and those are one of the reasons why white people, racist white folks, were mad. It wasn't just because of the lie that was told to get that place burned down. It's because that community was better than the white community in that area. But I would tell my black businesses, the owners, make sure that your business represent excellence. You know, if your business said open at 10 o'clock, somebody be there at 9 o'clock preparing for your people to walk in. Exercise excellence. You know, work hard to have your name and represented around the world with great character. I would say that a lot of times our black businesses fall by the wayside because we feel like black people should just support us because we're black. No, black people are spending their dollars, and we need to make sure that our businesses is having a very good and great place for them, is a great place for them to experience because they're spending their dollar, and that's just how I feel. And I will also say, everybody keep pushing, man. I always end with that. Keep pushing, man. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you're trying to better yourself as far as education, your own business, man, keep pushing. Man, welcome the night. I tell people this all the time. Man, without Judas, Christ would never been on the cross. Welcome to Judas in your life. Welcome to people who doubt you. Welcome to people who sell you out. Because guess what? It's a lesson learned from that. That means that you're finna go to your next level. That put him on the cross to die and to be elevated, and he sits with the Father. So I tell you now, when you see Judas walking your life, when you see people with doubt, who feel like that you won't succeed, know that guess what? You're finna go to your next level, and you keep grinding. I don't care what it is. I want to see you grind. Think about these words: the night you do not lose, you learn. My grandfather used to say, do not throw the towel in, because guess what? Because you won't see daybreak. Learn to know that through my night, one day is going to break if I just keep pushing. It doesn't matter how long night lasts. I don't care if night lasts 1 night, 2 years, 3 years. No, if you keep pushing, day is going to break. And you're going to say, wow, I learned a lot in the night. Now I'm a better person, and now my business is flourishing. So I speak right now, blessings and overflow over everyone's business, whatever you're doing. Education, these kids finna go back to school. I speak that these kids be safe and that they learn, they be respectful to their teachers. I thank God for our teachers, man, that they are not rewarded enough in our community. I thank God for them, and I just speak blessings on your life. That's all I got to say on my final thought.
Man, we appreciate y'all joining us. We'll see y'all next week right here on the Lineage Podcast.
And I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed that we were going to march.
Nice. First of all, serving notice on our nation. It's Dr. Frederick Douglass Reese.
We march. We march. We march.
He said, what shall we do? I said, we are going back. He said,